In today's video, we are sharing our budget for Vietnam. Now, we spent 40 days in Vietnam, 7 days in Hoi An, and 33 days in Danang. Now, we will be sharing all the numbers with you, but we think you'll be really interested in the difference in cost between fast travel and slow travel. So between the 7 days in Hoi An and the 33 days that we spent in Danang. I'm Frank.
I'm Kim.
And we are FNK Live. So let's start with Hoi An.
Okay, so we decided to go back to Hoi An because it was one of my favourite places in Vietnam that I'd been to. It's very picturesque. It's a really lovely small town, but it does get very touristy. So we didn't feel that we wanted to spend a whole month there, but we thought it would be nice to just spend a week.
Indeed, last year when we went to Hoi An, that was at the end of our 6 months in Asia. And by then I was really overwhelmed with the heat and with the tourism. So we thought we should give it a second chance this year.
Yeah, it was a bit much by the end of the last one.
Bless me, it was a bit too much.
So that's the reason we went to Hoi An. We'll give you our numbers for our local transport. It was just a cost of £8 for us to travel from Danang Airport all the way through to Hoi An.
And that was really cheap.
Yeah, it was really good. That was a private transfer as well.
As far as accommodation for Hoi An, we decided to stay in a hotel simply because the advantages of Airbnb are not as great if you stay fewer than 28 days. So we booked a really nice hotel. And from our experience last year, we decided to be on the north side of the river, and we stayed on the west of the old town. And the hotel was called Le Charme, which sounded very French and very charming indeed. Our accommodation was £242 for 7 days, which is an average of £35 a day. Now that included an amazing breakfast, full buffet, and an omelette station. They made pancakes, they made everything you wanted fresh for you. So we were very, very happy with the hotel. The service was great, and bonus, when we arrived, they upgraded us to a high floor balcony room.
Superior room.
A superior room.
Yeah, it was really nice.
So
and a bath and everything.
Yeah, they knew how to handle us. So that was great.
Yeah.
So for £35 a night, this is the kind of hotel that we can get behind.
So our next category is usually groceries, but because we were staying in the hotel, our total for that was zero because we didn't need to buy anything. Obviously, we didn't have a kitchen in the hotel, so that was zero. So next cost, breakfast. So breakfast was included, so we should have spent nothing for breakfast, but there was at least one day, I think we stayed out quite late the night before, where we simply missed breakfast. We woke up too late. So we decided to walk into town and have a breakfast out. We should say about the hotel breakfast is that it did not include espresso coffee. And I usually quite like an espresso. So I tried it once, but they were charging me extra for this. And in the end, I decided it wasn't worth paying the extra. So I only tried it once. The rest of the time, their Vietnamese coffee filter was plenty good enough. So what did we spend for that?
Oh, yes, I should give you numbers. So for breakfast in total, we spent £17.
And then for our eating out for the week, we did have a couple of favourite places from the last time we were in Vietnam. So I am a particular fan of the white rose dumplings that you can only get in Hoi An. So we went specifically to the main shop where the lovely ladies make them.
And if you haven't had those white rose dumplings, there's a couple of things that are very good about them. First of all, they're very delicate and very fine. But also, if you're eating with chopsticks, they're slightly sticky, so they do almost stick to your chopstick. So even for an amateur like me, you can still eat your dinner.
So they do have prawns inside them, and they also serve them with caramelised shallots and things over the top. They're very good and really not expensive either. So you have to go and try them if you're ever in Hoi An. We also took the chance to go to Hill Station restaurant and bar that we'd liked before, and they were doing a special for a raclette, and Frank loves a bit of cheese.
I like melted cheese in any form.
So so if there's ever a fondue or a raclette, then we have to be nice and take Frank there. So we got to experience this, and they also had a deal where they threw in a very nice Riesling.
A Riesling from Alsace, which we really enjoyed with us.
And we went out to Morning Glory restaurant, which is one of the other famous restaurants in Hoi An, and we enjoyed that, but
Also, just the everyday Vietnamese restaurants were just as good.
Just as good.
Yeah. So just to share costs, on average, we spent about £20 on a normal meal for the two of us, without wine and just a beer or a soft drink with that. And then if we went out somewhere and we did indulge in a bottle of wine, then it was closer to £45 for both of us. But yeah, again, still pretty good prices.
So a total for the week of £261 or £37 a day, which we have to say that we picked Vietnam and later on Thailand when we'll do our next budget video, because we were hoping to save some money for our annual budget. And so far it's showing promise. So that takes on to our next category, which was all quite a significant one for us, and that's drinks and or entertainment. To summarize, we had a few bars that we had gone to last year that we wanted to revisit. One of them was the Wanderlust bar, where we had made a few friends and we discovered some great bands. So we went a few nights out, and of course, when you stay in a hotel, you have to go out. You don't really want to sit in your room the whole time. So we went out to the local bars, walking along the river with all the lanterns floating. And there's a buzz. It's a really cool place.
It is quite magical. It is really nice. Like, it's such a picturesque town. You have to go and see it.
We spent £106 for the week, which is an average of £15 a day. That included some nibbles occasionally with the drinks, and generally great bands to entertain us.
And then for this part of the trip, our entertainment costs were zero, because we'd been to Hoi An the year before. We'd actually partaken of a lot of the activities there. We'd done the cookery class and gone on the boat trips and things like that. So we didn't need to do that again. So that saved us some money.
Yeah, and you should definitely do those. Just because we had done them last year, didn't feel the need to do them again. So a miscellaneous, that covers mostly everything else. Personal care, any things we buy, like toiletries, but also laundry if we do such things. So we spent £43, and I got a 90-minute massage for about £15, which is ridiculous. Pedicures was at £9 for both of us. £6 for Kim, £3 for me, because I didn't get my toenails painted.
Not this time, but maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Recommend a good colour and I'll give it a shot. Just for the toes, mind, for now. And then we spent £5 on miscellaneous toiletries and £8 on a big load of laundry.
So the grand total for the week that we spent in Hoi An was £677, which was an average of £97 a day.
To put in context, our daily budget, including accommodation and daily spending, but excluding flights and other considerations that are annual spend, health insurance, is £94 per day. This time we spent £97 per day. We were £3 over budget. This doesn't sound like a lot, but because we were expecting to save money in Vietnam, this worked out to be quite a bit over budget for us. But it was definitely worth it. Hoi An has to be visited, and you have to do all those fun things whilst you're there.
So did we do better in Danang? Let's look.
Let's find out. So Danang. Danang is great. It's a larger town than Hoi An. It's a lot less touristy as well. Even though there's starting to be more and more expats and digital nomads, which actually helps because it means the facilities are getting better and better. There is a great river that you can walk along, and of course, a beautiful beach, also with long walkable promenades. We had enjoyed it last year, so we wanted to be back and just relax more.
Cool. Our local transportation costs were £55. And just to say again, we were there for 33 days. So actually a bit longer than a month this time, which covered getting from Hoi An to Danang, which again was roughly £8. And the huge cost of getting to the airport at the end, which was, I think, was £3.50.
Whoa, £3.50 for a ride to the airport?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Pretty good for most countries. And then we took more taxis than perhaps we thought we might, but as you'll see in another video of ours, it did turn out to be rainy season.
We did take more grabs. I should also point out that in keeping with I'm a VIP, I love luxury. When I book grabs, I tend to book the Grab Plus because the difference in price is not a lot, but you do get a much larger car, so it's more comfortable, better suspension, more modern, and they do turn up faster actually than the regular ones where there's maybe more competition for the cheaper price.
Yeah, and you'd think it was expensive, but no, literally every time we'd get a cab into town or out to Vincom Mall, or more likely back from there where we had shopping, it was £2 on average for each trip.
Yes.
So £55 for the month was really good.
We should also add to that the £2 on average included a tip, and that's a really good thing to do.
And our accommodation?
Accommodation. So this time, wow. Well, first of all, we believe we found a bargain. So we picked an area closer to the beach, which is a bit more expensive on Airbnb, and they tend to be around £800 for a month. But we managed to get a 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom for just under £600, and that was for 33 days. And the apartment was great.
Yeah, I think our only slight negative was it was one of the places we stayed where the bed was actually very hard.
Yes, the mattress was so firm. We kind of got used to it, but to be fair, the other things that was maybe a negative for the accommodation is that Danang, being so popular,
And
is
up and
full
coming, yeah.
and up and coming. Yeah, it's full of construction and development at the moment, which meant that we had a construction site next to our building, which was okay. But then they started doing some renovation in our building as well. So we didn't really complain, but we pointed it out and we asked our Airbnb host, look, how long is this going to last? Because they woke us up really early and then it was all dusty in the corridors. He was very apologetic. He immediately bought us a bottle of wine. And then the next day, when he found out it was going on for a bit longer, he offered us to stay in a different apartment of his. So it was a little bit further north, but actually a really interesting area. So we were quite pleased to move.
Yep.
The bed was much better. So that was
Yes, that was a relief. And to be honest, he was really lovely. So
Yes.
I have to say, like, we've been lucky with our Airbnb.
yes,
host.
super proactive. Our Airbnb included weekly cleaning as well, but he also gave us a lift. He waited till we repacked all our bags and took us to the new apartment, make sure that we were very happy and helped us settle in.
Yeah, so like £600 for those 33 days was really good going. We did have like really nice apartment.
An average of £18 per day is ridiculous. And that's exactly what we're looking for when we're trying to average out across the year the more expensive locations and the slightly cheaper locations.
Okay, so moving on to our groceries, and because we had an apartment, we did spend money in this category, but we spent a total of £208. But this actually included us kitting ourselves out a bit. Frank bought himself a really nice French press coffee maker that we're still travelling
Oh,
with.
yes.
We bought 2 mugs, 2 wine glasses, and a corkscrew as well.
Yes.
All the essentials,
Oh,
if
the-
you know us.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we did buy some food as well. So we bought kind of our staples of some pasta and some wine to go with the corkscrew and the glasses, and your general kind of like
Coffee, milk,
coffee, toiletries,
bottled
those
waters.
kind of things.
Yes.
But yeah, total of £208, £6 a day.
Yes, the bottom line is it's cheaper to eat out than it is to eat in. So for breakfast, well, we mostly had them at home. So first of all, I did buy this really cool French cafetiere. We also bought good coffee from a local roaster,
Yeah.
and they grind it for you. So the coffee was great for this.
And I should point out I'm British, so I bring tea bags with me. I've turned into that old lady, but it makes me happy just to have a cup of tea in the morning.
We always travel with a little Ziploc bag filled with PG Tips tea or equivalent.
And it cost me a fiver for about 5 months, so it's worth it.
So that's good. Breakfast was £28 for over a month there. Once we had to buy breakfast, we were out and suddenly heavens opened, downpour.
Yeah.
So we just stepped into the first cafe that we saw, which was a really traditional Vietnamese cafe. And we had coffee and drinks there, which was
Yeah.
very nice. Another time, we wanted to see what it was like to be a digital nomad living in Danang. So we went to one of the trendy coffee shops, and it was really trendy,
It was,
really,
yeah.
really nice. So we experimented a couple of places like this. And the last one was we were trying to escape our building. So really about 3 coffees outside of the house.
Yeah, so we only spent like £28 for those 33 days. So that's pretty good. Then moving on to our biggest expense that we always have, which is our eating out.
Oh, yes.
So we did have a couple of nice meals out. It coincided with being the start of birthday month for Frank. If you've not watched it, we have a video on how we celebrate birthdays, so please check that out. So we found this really lovely French restaurant, Le Petit Bistro, and we had a very nice meal there and some very nice wine. So that was slightly more expensive. And also we got to go back to a Moroccan restaurant. We're big fans of of couscous, and if you ordered 24 hours before, they would make you a big pot of couscous, and it was amazing. We had that at least twice, and we tried their tagines as well. Yeah, really nice place.
Definitely recommend Bloody in Danang there.
Yes.
It's a Moroccan restaurant. They had some very affordable, nice wines to have with your couscous. We had some nice red wine. We had some nice bubbly wines. It's a great place.
And also, shout out to Casa Loco, which was a Mexican restaurant, for their Margarita Mondays. We did partake of those.
Those were dangerous.
Yeah, they were quite dangerous, but their cocktails were amazing. So.
Well, it was happy hour pretty much on all margaritas all night. And the food, we should also point out, it wasn't just the margaritas, but we had fajitas, we had quesadillas, we had really nice loaded nachos.
Yeah, that's great.
So we had a great time. So we went a few times for this, but they were really strong margaritas. Most places that you go in the tourist area of Da Nang or anywhere in the world, really, they seem diluted. They don't put a lot of spirit, and they're not very good. Those were excellent. So if you like a good margarita, Casa Loco in Da Nang, right in the center, you can't go wrong, especially on a Monday.
And then...
oh, by the way, we're not sponsored.
No. Our favourite Indian restaurant was Indian Masala, that was by the river near to the Dragon Bridge. That was really good. Their curries were amazing. We asked for them spicy and they delivered. We look out for Indian restaurants as well. So that was our favourite. And we did enjoy the Vietnamese restaurant. So in our second place we stayed at, we went to An House a couple of times. And in general, just to any of the local Vietnamese places we had near us. I like the bun cha that they do, which is just like their pork and noodles, and we love a banh mi. So a lot of our lunches were just getting, I have to say, we did maybe get 3 or 4 banh mi, but they were awesome. They were really affordable, really good quality.
We should clarify that, a banh mi is a French bread baguette, that sort of size. So they were about just under £1 for each banh mi, and they're overfilled with your choice of meats or egg and salad filling, so really good quality.
Just to give you an idea, our average meal out was in a decent place, around about £30 for both of us. And if we had more of a blowout meal with wine, then that would be £70 for both of us. And as we say, our banh mi lunches were a £5. So in total, we spent, for the 33 days, £930, which was a daily average of £28. And that's for both of us eating out for the day, which is pretty good.
That is amazing. So that takes us to our drinks and entertainment budget. So again, we didn't really spend anything on entertainment. The weather was still, how to describe it, wet, abominable really. So we couldn't really make any plans. We had thought we were going to go to
the Banana Hills with the bridge with the hands.
That's it. Because we missed that last year and we missed it again this year.
We'll have to come back.
Because we knew that it would be either super cloudy or super flooded and raining. So we saved money on this, I guess. So mostly our entertainment, as usual, was a few visits to local music bars. And we got to go and see that band again, the Langers, who we had met the year before in Hoi An.
They were great.
And they were great again. The average night out was about £8. So that's really cheap. In total, we spent £137 or £4 a day, but we didn't go out every day.
No.
The next category, which is miscellaneous, in particular, personal care.
Okay, so I think personal care was mainly all about you, Frank. So you also got to indulge in more massages when we were in Da Nang. You had 4 massages that were mainly 2 hours
mostly,
at the time.
Yes, upgraded.
And we spent a total of £69 on those 4 massages. So I think you worked out it was £9 an hour.
£9 per hour for the massage.
You just don't get that anywhere else. So,
and to clarify, even though it's mostly me that got the personal care, it's because it's a full-time job for Kim to look after me. So occasionally, Kim needs a break. So when I go and let somebody else take care of me, Kim really is in bliss. She gets to have some Kim time.
Yeah, okay. Kim doesn't complain that much, to be fair. And we also got 2 lots of laundry, and that came to a whole £9 in total. So £4.50 to get all of your laundry done and beautifully folded and back to you is just amazing. Yes. So total amount that we spent in Da Nang for our 33 days was £2,032.
Wow.
Which for an average price per day was £62. So that's our accommodation, all of our eating, drinking, enjoying our life.
Yeah.
£62 for both of us is pretty amazing, really.
It's fantastic. And to put it back again in context, we have an average budget per day of £94. That includes accommodation and our daily spendings. It does exclude our flights, our travel and health insurance, and our general subscriptions and card fees, because we want to keep those separate because they're spread out across the year. So our budget is normally £94 per day, and this time we only spent 62.
Yeah.
So we managed to save just over £30
Yeah.
per day over 33 days. That's a huge amount of money saved, which we're very happy about.
So it does prove balancing across the year. We're in more expensive European countries, then we know that we can offset it with going to some cheaper countries in Asia to do that, and it does work. So
Yes.
good to know.
Good to know indeed. Okay, so let's summarize the total for the 40 days in Vietnam, split between fast travel, 7 days in Hoi An, and slow travel, 33 days in Danang. Now, we should also add the fact that we had a flight, obviously. We flew from Istanbul to Bangkok and then from Bangkok to Danang. So that cost us £717.
That amount is split between, we had our flight from Istanbul to Bangkok, which was 576 for both of us.
True.
And then the flight that we took from Bangkok to Danang was 141, so £70 each.
Yes.
Just to give you an idea of what those flight costs are.
Our cost for local transport was great value, a couple of pounds a day on average, mostly because Danang and Hoi An are actually really close together. You could actually easily commute between one and the other.
And then our accommodation overall for, again, 40 nights, we spent £840. And if you look, like you say, for fast and slow travel, if you compare 7 nights for Hoi An with Danang, you're getting on for like double the amount that we spent with our Airbnb.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference.
I mean, we got a cheap hotel, even though it was high quality, but it was still £20 more expensive per night than the Airbnb. For the rest of it, we didn't spend a lot on groceries because you might as well eat out. The food is better and, hey, so affordable. The quality of the bread is spectacular. You can thank the French for this. When they invaded Indochina, they did bring a couple of good things, the love of good coffee and of good bread.
And then for our eating out, which I think we've talked through quite a number of the places we went to, but it was great to have local food and the banh mi's as well as some great international options.
Yeah.
And in total, we spent £1,191 for our 40 days, which worked out as like £30 per day.
Yes, again, it's
mad.
ridiculous. Finally, on drinks are super cheap. Beers, very affordable. Cocktails, especially during happy hour, you will not break the bank. Wine is going to be more expensive, not extortionate. I think it used to be that bringing wine into Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, China, was super expensive, but it's more normalized now that you get a lot of Chilean wines and Australian wines that is pretty good at a decent price. So for drinks, we spent in total £243, which is about £6 a day. Really, really affordable. We also spent very little, but we got a lot of value for on massage and pedicures and our laundry. Everything is so cheap. And it's such a pleasure not having to worry. If you like to have a massage every 2 or 3 days, you will not break the bank and you will feel great for it.
Again, we only spent £120 for the month for that. Okay, so to summarise our figures, and we have split out our total amount spent, which includes our flights to cover it, but we appreciate anyone else might be coming from a different location, so it's not the same for everyone. But including flights, we spent £3,426, on average £86 a day. But without the flights, so our accommodation and everything else, we had a total of £2,709 for 40 days, which was £68 a day. Which, as Frank said, compared to our normal daily budget of 94, we were £26 under for
Per
each
day.
which for us is amazing. So in summary, we would really recommend that you try places in Vietnam. We both qualified to get a 45-day tourist visa, so you can stay there for at least that amount of time. And it's great for the budget. The people are lovely. Food and drinks, awesome. Accommodation.
Yes, we
good.
underspent our budget by over £1,000 in the 40 days we spent there, which is perfect for us because I'm pretty sure that in the middle of the year we overspent our budget by close to £1,000. So you see how it all comes around. Now, our next budget will be where we are in Thailand, in Chiang Mai.
And we're hoping to do similar for that one, but hey, you'll have to stay
Of
tuned
course.
and find out. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Please ask any questions in the comments. Reach out to us. Do subscribe. It does make a difference. We're a new channel and we get so excited when we see the number of subscribers and the comments coming up.
And please tell us where else you've been in Vietnam. So we particularly enjoyed being in Danang and Hoi An. And we have been to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, but we'd really like to go to new places when we come back to Vietnam. So really interested to hear everyone else's experience.
That's true. And if you are on a budget, remember that you can spend a lot less than we do because, hey, we're retired and we want to live our good life here rather than, tightening too much. But we're interested in other tricks you might share with us on that one. So thank you for joining us and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.